Uh, what's going on, people? What is going on? Technical difficulties. Um, there is no intro tonight. We got some fucked up stuff going on. Just kidding, y'all. What's going on, people? Um, welcome to. Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, we can't leave them without a bland background. Hey, welcome to Tuesday night's Heavy Hitters AFN style. As you already know, this is your boy, 6-man KStylzz. Get my high quality H2O.
H2O, baby.
To my stage left, as you see, Mr. Mad Mike Sports, the mad scientist with the bandana around his neck. He's on the CJ San Andreas side of the game.
Yes, sir. Spiced up just a little bit. It's funny because I actually been watching reruns of CJ San Andreas. I was like, yeah, I need to get back playing that.
Right. And we got your boy down here at the bottom. Mr. Jew Talk Sports, the minister of AFN. What's going on, fellas? How are we doing this evening?
Gravy, baby.
Baby.
It's bittersweet, KStylzz, because it's the season finale, so it's bittersweet. Bittersweet. But like I said, before we go ahead and get into the real roll call, intro time. We couldn't have a show without doing that. Y'all know better than that. So you know what we got to do, man. Now it's time to get to the real roll call. Somebody said I look like I'm in a penitentiary. I'm like, hey, big fella, you still so look good over there. Like,
you gonna eat your cornbread?
Like, no, you can't have my booty. I was just watching Boot Bouncer that shit. But as we know, at the roll call go, we got Mr. Joseph Thornton in the building. We got Miss Asia Green. We got Dee Dee. We got Noah Tyndale. Shouts out to Noah. We got Michael Walker in the building. Not that Michael Walker, but Michael Walker. YMOF Jamal. We got Low Ski, Raheem DeVille, Mr. Motivator, and we're going to do one more in Sean Corleone. What's going on, fella? How we doing this glorious evening? We on the cusp of the final game of the year, which is our biggest rivalry game, part 2.
Mm-hmm.
How we feeling about it?
You know how I go, KStylzz. We got to protect home field. Bottom line, we already went to New Orleans and beat them down at home. So this is the last game of the season. We can spoil the playoffs for them. So at this point, hey, look, we know that this is the biggest rivalry in the NFL. Like, this is like a collegiate rivalry between the Saints and the Falcons. And I think we see how we played against the Bills. I think this team's gonna come out pissed off. I don't know if you guys checked out the Falcons Audible. That's something I check out on AtlantaFalcons.com on their YouTube page, and they talked about it. This team plays for 60 minutes. KStylzz says it every week. This team plays for 60 minutes, and that's what I love about this team, and that's why I said it's bittersweet, KStylzz. This is the last game because Mike said it last show, and I kind of talked about it as well. This team, for all that they battled through all year, this team deserved to make the playoffs. I know nothing's given to you. You got to earn it. They didn't make the playoffs. You heard Arthur Smith saying they fell short, but you could see the distraught look on all these guys' faces. I don't know if you guys go back and like watch after the game.
I did.
Yeah, if you guys actually watch like their interviews and stuff, Deron Harmon, Foyer, all of those dudes look pissed off, and they look like they actually like playing together. And that's something that I think as fans we take for granted. It's like the reason they were looking like the way that they were looking is because they know that everybody's not coming back next year. It's just impossible. From year to year, your team's going to change. So I think all of those guys were looking the way they were looking because this game coming up is maybe the last time they'll be in the locker room with their fellow brethren, you know, their brothers and stuff like that. So this group is like a bunch of misfits. You know what I'm saying? When I watch these guys out there, it's a bunch of misfits and guys that, you know, nobody thought this team was going to do anything. Let's just be real. When Calvin Ridley left, when Julio Jones abandoned us, like this team, everybody left this team for dead. So it's going to be bittersweet because I love the underdog. And to me, this Falcons roster was a team full of underdog type players, scrappers, dudes that actually earned everything that they got this year. So I don't want to go on and on. I'm going to let you guys, you know, jump in as well. But I love this team because they're a bunch of misfits. And I love when being the underdog, when everybody's counting you out. And to me, that's kind of how this Falcons team was kind of just left for dead. They threw dirt on us after that first game against the Eagles in week 1. And this team, all they did was scrap and battle. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's the season finale. But I really think that they're going to come out and try to spoil the playoffs for the Saints. Because if we ain't going, y'all ain't going. Come join us on the couch and watch the playoffs.
Come watch us to the playoffs. What you got on that, Mike? What you feel about this game?
I second that emotion. Drew said it, man. He said it best. This was a team that was just a bunch of misfits. We always here at Atlanta Falcons Nation categorize ourselves as misfits. So that's why me personally, if you guys saw me in the space Sunday, I was livid with the refs because like they deserve to be in the playoff this year. I don't like you said, I don't often say that, but these guys, just everything that they've been through this year. All right, let's just take it from the top a little bit. I'm gonna try to go as fast as I possibly can. From the very beginning, man, you lose your head coach. All right, your GM, you fire these guys right off the bat. These guys have been here for the last 5 to 10 years or so with Thomas Dimitrov. So these guys have been a vital part of this organization. You fire those guys and then end up, you know, pretty much depleting the coaching staff. Nobody is here from last year. Nobody on this coaching staff is here. You pretty much deplete the. You got a couple of guys on the scouting staff that are still here, but like even the front office has been clean from the very bottom. So I hear people all the time, well, we rebuild. We did, okay? That's as closest to a rebuild that you could possibly get when you talk about depleting every aspect of this team. The coaching staff, the front office, the players. We don't have to go into the players, but you know, Julio, the stunt that Julio pulled, you know, pretty much, you know, Calvin Ridley starting off slow. He act like he didn't really want to be here. You can see it in his the you know, how he played and his gameplay. I don't really want to go into that right now, but there's been some news on Calvin Ridley's surface today. We're going to get into that, but it's just so much the injury to Isaiah Oliver, you know, Eric Harris. These guys have played their heart out. You're playing with guys that are just these guys. Most of these guys weren't even in the league last year, and they're playing for the Falcons. Let's think about it. These guys were backups to most teams, backups on most teams last year. Anthony Rush wasn't even in the damn league, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got so many things that played a part in that season. It's like I don't think any team would have, if it was any other team, I don't think any other team would have withstood the test that they had this year. And I just got to give it up to one more guy. And like at this point, you got a mental problem if you can't see how great Matt Ryan is. I'm just gonna say it. The dude is literally 246 yards away, 247 yards away from going for 4,000 with the players that he has on this squad. Cordell Patterson is a throwaway. Nobody really wanted Cordell Patterson, but he forced them with his athleticism and his natural gifts. All right, Mike Davis, another throwaway. Like he's a misfit. This team is just misfits. Like these guys, nobody wanted these guys. Zacchaeus, Russell Gage. I could just go on and on. Nobody really wanted McGarry. Nobody even really knew anything about Chris Lindstrom. Hardly anybody knew anything about Matt Hennessy, Jake Matthews. Yes, he has that family lineage, but a lot of Falcons fans just want to replace him at the drop of a dime. Like he's not the best. One of the better left tackles in the league. And Jalen Mayfield, he started out horrendous in the preseason. That dude was absolutely trash in the preseason, and he turned his season around. So when you look at this up and down, I'm not even going to go to defense because it's been quite long enough, but this season, they deserve every bit of the 8-7 wins. Now, I'm just going to say 8 wins, all right? We're going to beat their ass, all right? I'm going to just put it that we're going to beat their ass. We're going to send their ass home so they can sit down and eat that goddamn gumbo. And I'm going to just say it like that. So, period, point blank, that's all. That's all.
Oh, hey. Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, put it right there. Oh, my bad. I was just getting the couch prepared for the Saints right quick after this game. But, I had to make sure everything was straight. But, yeah, like I said, this game right here, as we know, the Saints got everything to play for. Falcons got nothing to play for, which means this might be the freest that this team has been in a very long time. There's a couple teams that's playoff hopes is riding on this game, not only the Saints, but the 49ers as well. I'm kind of on the boat with y'all as far as talking about a team of misfits. Let's just keep it real here. This team was literally built with great value products. This is basically, we had great value players this year, all across the board. You had a couple pricey people, but you, like I said, other than that, you basically just built this team on a bunch of one-year deals. Now, when they said, did they deserve to go to the playoffs? As hard as they fought, yeah. But at the end of the day, I still got to hold them to a curb as far as you still have to make the plays, even regardless if you have the great value talent or not. You're still in games. But this is what the learning experience was about. This is what happens when you got a bunch of guys that just threw together that ain't gonna be together after this year. We the bad news bears. We just ain't got to the end yet. Let's just call them that. Right. Bad news bears, but we ain't got to the end of the movie yet. But the Saints game, yeah, it's going to be very interesting because even though the Saints have a better record than us, they in the playoff spot right now. They haven't been looking too good this year neither. Now, they've had some breaks go their way, and we haven't. These guys are pissed. They felt like that game was in their grasp, and they just got took from them. Then you gotta go and take that frustration out and send the Saints send their asses packing home. That's all I gotta say, man. But let's go ahead and since we got that out the way, As y'all already know, the Falcons are underdog again, which does not surprise me at all. Let's go ahead and get into the 3 keys. What 3 keys do the Falcons need in this rematch to come away with the second W against the Saints? Go ahead, Mike. I'm gonna let you go ahead and kick us off with that one. Go ahead and mix that formula up.
I'm gonna say the first one is come out aggressive. They got to come out aggressive. We got to get Matt Ryan at 4,000 under no circumstances. You can't allow him to not get it. So you got to go all out. You got to be super aggressive. Throw those deep shots. Make sure, even if Pitt does not play with his hamstring, you got to go all out. You can't nickel and dime this game. You got to go out, throw. Like I said, Matt Ryan, he deserves to be in the playoff. That did not happen. So you got to give him that 11th. I think it's 11 straight 4,000, maybe 12, but he got to get that 4. You got to get Matt Ryan that 4. You got to try to get Kyle Pitts those numbers, and at this point you got to give those guys opportunity to get those bonuses at this point. They got to come out aggressive. 1, 2. Dante Fowler got to come out and get at least 3 sacks this game. I don't want to hear no more excuses. Look, I'm tired of seeing you as I hear fireflies or whatever the hell he be doing. I don't know what the hell he be doing half the time. Like you had at least 3 sacks, at the least 3 sacks last year, last game against Josh Allen. So it's not a matter of does he have the talent. He obviously has the talent to get after the quarterback, but it's like you got the guy in your grasp, and it was seeing ghosts where he went to hug and it just go through your body. That's how Dante Fowler. He gets near the quarterback and just seems like his arm goes straight through the quarterback body. He has to get 3 sacks. So the second one is obviously Dante Fowler. I'm putting all the onus on Dante Fowler. You want your money? This is your time to show not only the Falcons that you can be, that guy in the rotation. So I don't think he's going to be a main guy anymore. I think that's past him. But if he wants to be a rotational piece, not only for the Falcons, but he's going to have to show that he has some value as a defensive edge rusher, because he's had opportunities, but he's just not getting that. Third, first and foremost, I'm just going to say it again. I'm tired of looking at number 28 tiptoeing. I'm sick of him. I'm just I need you to do something, okay? I need you to do something. All these people up here talking about the offensive line. Look, how do you know? I'm a just be graphic. The hell with. I'm gonna just be graphic, and forgive me, all you, and you probably want to put your kids away when I say this, but how do you know if you got some good 6? Okay, you got to get in there. You got to get in there, bud, don't you? If you don't get in the hole, okay, if you don't hit the hole hard, or you don't hit the hole properly, how you gonna ever know that it's good 6? Okay, you gotta hit the hole properly. You can't be tiptoeing around, and you can't be sprinkling, dabbling. You gotta get in there, okay? You gotta get in there, okay? So Mike Davis, I need you to get in the damn hole, okay? Get in it. Don't tiptoe around it. All the ladies, y'all feel me? Y'all get in the hole, Mike. Get in the hole. I'm tired of seeing you tiptoeing around it. So that's my 3 keys to victory. I'm done.
You said so basically what you said, he bullshitting in the hole.
He bullshit. I just had to say that. I apologize. Like I said, I gave y'all warning. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I just had to say that.
That boy said Mike Davis be short stroking in the hole, boy. I'm like, God damn.
Get in the hole. We need running backs gonna get in the hole. It making the offensive lineman look so much worse than what they are because he tiptoeing around it. Just get in there, man.
But does that mean that he's tiptoeing with the lights off? Is that why he ain't hitting the hole properly?
Oh my God.
Well, I'm about to say, I see why Trina and Missy Elliott's on that song. They were talking about Mike Davis.
Oh man.
But let's get on the serious side. I'm gonna go ahead and go next with my 3 keys because we gotta let the minister take us out on this one because he's gonna spit that straight heat. But let me go ahead and get my first key out here, and I pretty much just said it. You ain't got nothing to lose. Throw all that shit out the window. All that like I said, everything, just throw it out the window, but do it controlled. You gotta play controlled, but you gotta play with a frenzy. I'm sorry, Mike. You just threw me off with that shit. You just threw me off.
It's the comments.
Look, man,
it's the comments. Wow, the comments, bro.
But yeah. You just threw me off just a little bit on that. But
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
But yeah, basically you ain't got nothing to lose, man. You just gotta go out there and just play your game. Like you said, guys, like Mike said before, you playing for incentives now. This is the point in time where we just need to find out who wants to be on this team or not next season. Like I said, you got a lot of 1-year deals. You might have a couple more 1-year deals coming in after this. So we have to play with controlled emotion because, like I said, it's a rivalry game. And, with situations like this, penalties will come. We have to control that, but play with a rage at the same time. 2, we got to run the ball. Like I said, it's kind of tying into what Mike is saying again. You got to run the ball, but you have to run the ball, man. You got to run the ball. Like I said, I need to see Quadri Olson run the ball, rock this game. I need to see him. I ain't worried about Mike Davis running the rock right now. I'm not worried about Cordero Patterson running the rock. I want Quadri Olson running this rock because he may be the guy. He may be the lone survivor of the backfield at the end of this season. It's a possibility. So you want to see what he can do in this game because remember he didn't. Wait a minute. Did he? I don't remember if he played the last game against the Saints. Because the last time the Saints were played, I was in the hospital, so I could.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
Quadri?
Yeah. So, Quadri didn't play.
I don't think so. No.
He didn't play.
So, okay. So so let him. Like I said, I need to see him be the bell cow in this matchup because, as we know, Mike Davis, Seattle. The blue chew ain't working for him. He running on limp dick fuel and shit. So we don't need to see him no more. Cordero Patterson, he needs to go back and play his normal position at wide receiver. Spell at times as running back. So where he ain't got to take the hit. So I won't see Quadri Olson run the rock. And 3. Don't worry about what nobody else out here is saying. Do not worry about the criticism from the Falcons, from the Falcon media and the fans that are talking shit about this. As the players, don't worry about the media. Fuck them. This is your game. play your game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my 3 keys right there. Oh, and like we said, 60 minutes. That's the universal right there. 60 minutes.
That's the law.
That's the law right there. All right, let's go ahead and pass this down here to Jew. What you got for us?
So the first key to victory for our Falcons to win this game, it's going to be win the turnover battle. Win the turnover battle because we on the road. This defense is on the road as far as turning them over. Win the turnover battle is 1A. 1B for this game is once you get that turnover, you have to capitalize on it. The offense, you have to score on those short fields. When you get that turnover, whether it's an interception, whether it's a forced fumble, you have to go. The offense have to capitalize on the turnovers because that's something that we haven't been doing. In this last game, Foye came up with a key interception in the start of the third quarter, and we didn't go down and score on the short field. So we gotta do that. Second key to victory in this game is going to be run the ball. KStylzz just talked about it. You got to run the ball in this game, and you have to establish the line of scrimmage. We did that in the first game against the Saints. We know that the Saints, the strength of their defense is the front seven. So you got to set the tone on the offensive line, Mayfield, those boys up front. I don't care who's running the ball. Like Mike was saying, whoever's running the ball, just hit the hole. You got to, because in this game, the Saints is one of those teams where they going to hit you in the mouth if you don't hit them first. And I talked about this a couple shows ago where you got to throw the first punch when you playing the Saints, period. You got to throw the first punch because the Saints is one of those teams that they're going to try to intimidate you. They're like bullies. The Saints, we always talk about their secondary holding and things of that nature. Marshawn Lattimore and those guys in that secondary. I forget the kid's name, number 22, that KStylzz that you love for the Saints. I can't think of his name right now. But he talks trash to everybody. And he got punched by somebody on the Bears.
Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, Chauncey Gardner Johnson. Yeah, him. You know, we know how the Saints secondary and those guys are. They're gonna do everything in their power in this game to intimidate. So we gotta come out in this game and establish the line of scrimmage, as we always talk about. The third key to victory in this game, Mike said it already. Matt Ryan and Arthur Smith, this opened up the offense. Like in this game, we have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose in this game. So if I'm coming out, if I'm the actual the offensive play caller in this game as Arthur Smith, you gotta open it up, trick plays that you were afraid to call all year, you gotta call in this game. We got nothing to lose in this game. So if I'm Matt Ryan, I'm getting that 4,000 yards. I'm coming in this game telling Arthur Smith, let's open it up. Zacchaeus, go deep. Russell Gage, Kyle Pitts, if you playing in this game, I already did my video earlier talking about Kyle Pitts. He's going to get that 1,000 yards in this game, or that might be a record of 1,080 yards. He's going to get it in this game if he plays. If I'm Matt Ryan, I'm getting my 4,000 yards passing in this game for the season. So in this game, like we said, we got nothing to lose in this game. I really expect the Falcons to I expect this to be a blowout. This might shock you guys. I expect the Falcons in this game. I think a lot of people are expecting a close game, but I'm thinking this is going to be a blowout because I really think that this Falcons team is going to come out. As KStylzz said, 60 minutes. We don't have to say that with this team. If you guys watched Arthur Smith's press conference on Monday, he basically stated if we got to motivate you, you don't need to be here. That's basically what he told the reporter when they asked him, how are you going to motivate or try to get these guys motivated? He said these guys are professionals. Even though the playoffs is not, we missed the playoffs, we fell short. They know what the standard is here as Atlanta Falcon moving forward. So he's not trying to motivate, trick these guys. They know that they're eliminated, but at the end of the day, this team has shown us, like I said, that they misfits, they scrappers. And I think in this game that I really think that there's going to be a blowout in this game. But one more thing that I wanted to say that I should have actually had in the keys to victory, and this is just an honorable mention. I'm not too sure if Taysom Hill is their starting quarterback. Is Taysom Hill the starting quarterback this week? I know he didn't start last week. I know they had Ian Book. I think he was like on a COVID list or injured. I don't know. I think he's on a COVID list. But if he plays in this game, if he plays in this game, if I'm Dean Pease, I don't want to see what I saw last Sunday against Josh Allen. If you're a quarterback out there trying to truck people, hit him like he's a running back. Hit him like he's a wide receiver. Hit him like he's a tight end. I know a lot of people might say you might get a flag, but at the end of the day, the line got to be drawn somewhere. I know you guys seen when Foye knocked Sam Darnold out the game against the Panthers. At some point, this defense got to draw the line somewhere. These defenders have to draw a line somewhere that if you're a big quarterback and you're running like you're a running back, I'm going to treat you as you're a running back. I'm not going to treat you as if you're a franchise quarterback because I didn't see Josh Allen last week sliding a lot.
You got to birth it, their ass. You got to birth it.
Exactly.
You got to come with that.
You got to set a tone at some point. So that's just my honorable mention in this game. If they play Taysom Hill, I'm tired of seeing quarterback powers and things of that nature and our defenders trying to pull up. Forget that. In this game, if he run, knock his block off. Let's just be real. If these guys are going to run the ball, carry the ball like they Mike Turner or like they one of the bigger running backs, like they a Derrick Henry, treat him as if he's a running back. At the end of the day, he's a runner. So we got screwed last week with that Matt Ryan giving himself up and all of that junk, and he still ended up getting hit. So I'm teaching all them guys in the film room. I'm saying as long as you're not playing like KStylzz stated, you don't want to play with it has to be controlled aggression. But in this game, if they're in the open field and they're a running back, quarterback, and they're running as if they're a running back and they're not sliding, hit them as if they're a running back. Because last week I seen our guys kind of pulling up a little bit when Josh Allen was running the ball, and he was taking advantage of that. Like when guys were pulling up, he was stiff arming guys. And in this game, I don't want to see that. If you're a linebacker, hit him like he's a running back. If they run a quarterback power with Taysom Hill, treat him as if he's a runner at the end of the day. I know he may be listed as quarterback, but I'm tired of seeing these mobile quarterbacks taking advantage of our defenders that's pulling up and not trying to hit these guys. Forget that.
AKA, do not get knocked off your pivot foot. That's all I got to say. Don't get knocked off your pivot foot. But if you do, it's going to be hilarious. But, hey, I agree with you on that one, Jew. Hey, man, at the end of the day, you got to bust these boys in the mouth. Okay. All right, Mike. I understand you have a comment that you want us to have a discussion about. Let's go ahead and get into that. We're gonna do a magic trick right quick, y'all. We're gonna do a magic trick. Oh, never mind. Ain't a magic trick right there. Is it? Go ahead, Mike. Let's see what that comment you got. Was it this one right here?
Okay.
And while he's pulling that up, let's go ahead and get in a couple of these comments. Let's get in a couple comments before we get into that. Silas Draven said, "Damn a flag if they touch the ball, wreck their ass." Exactly. I like that. Hey, like I said, you ain't got nothing to lose now. And this is kind of what you was just saying about Josh Allen. He said he threw 3 picks and they stopped throwing the ball after that. That says a lot. And we can't put the blame on Route 96 because he didn't play in the Buffalo game. So we can't throw Route 96 out there. That was just that
right.
That was just you getting your.
They attacked the edge. They really did a lot of. They attacked the edge this time, and that's it wasn't pretty with the edge. They kind of slowed it down everywhere, but yeah, they won at the edge this game.
If y'all don't know what the edge is, that is Dante Fowler and Steven Means. So, yeah. And Atlanta Nation here says Sean Wells wasn't having any of it last week. Who the hell he was? He wasn't. He got a flag for one of them, boy. He said, damn that. But go ahead, Mike. Let's go ahead and get to that comment you was talking about. All right, so we have a Mad Mike's comment of the week. So basically, Mr. TR here said, blame wide receivers all you want, but when you have two tight ends with the size and speed of Pitts and Hurst, you have Patterson who can catch out the backfield, and you do nothing to scheme the wide receivers open. It's on the novice OC. Arthur Smith needs to have his OC responsibilities taken away seriously. Guy came from a predominantly running team and completely wasted a year of Matt Ryan's remaining years. It's the OC's job to counter what the defense is doing. Yet you see the same thing happening with the offensive game after game with zero adjustments. Smith seems to be another Quinn. Can't be a head coach and coordinator at the same time. First of all, and shouts out to LT for this. I distinctly remember LT saying one time is, you make a point, but you kill your point in the same point you just made. He said, guy came from a predominantly running team. Remember, the Falcons was a predominantly passing team he came into. And this was a passing team that's not the same passing team that we had the last few years.
Right.
Now, when we talk about the two tight ends, yes, you got two tight ends. But if you actually pay attention to these games, these guys are literally getting bodied at the line of scrimmage. You can scheme all you want, but if your wide receivers can't get no type of release, that puts a lot of pressure on everybody else. And yeah, you got Patterson that can catch out the backfield. The reason why Patterson having I think the reason why Patterson's having the year he's having is because of the attention that Kyle Pitts is getting. And Hayden Hurst is in and out of the lineup. So, yeah. I can't say another Dan Quinn because at least, and this the part right here that got me. He said Smith seems to be another Dan Quinn, can't be head coach and coordinator at the same time.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that real quick. Do anybody know what the record with Dan Quinn was his first year?
8-8, I think.
Bam! That's it. Where the Falcons are, they're one game away from that. So what the hell? What if he is another Dan Quinn? His first 2 years here, Dan Quinn was that dude. He got us to a Super Bowl in year 2. So y'all cannot be making a point and kill your point. You gotta do your history. Nobody said Dan Quinn was absolutely worthless. Nobody said that. We said he did not make the necessary adjustments as time went on. He stayed complacent. You got to make adjustments as head coaches. Year to year is about adjustments. So what if he is? He's literally one game away from tying with the win total of Dan Quinn first year. So again, with less talent. I just make that point. With less talent.
Remember, Julio Jones, Roddy White, Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman. We ain't even started on the defense. What do you think on that? What do you think on that, Jude? Because, like I said, it's just another one of those cases where you made a point and then you killed your point in the same point you was trying to make.
Yeah. I actually was thinking about that today. What Mike was just talking about. It's like, man, if we actually bring in some more talent next year, we could be a Super Bowl contender next year. Real talk. If they make the right move, and that's why I think we kind of take for granted. And I think I might do a video about Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff because we kind of took them for granted. Like, yeah, it didn't end well for Dan Quinn, and that's what Mike was just saying as well. It didn't end well, and we kind of bashed Dan Quinn because of the way that it ended. But to be real, his first couple years here, he was successful. And to be honest, he should have been the first head coach to bring a Super Bowl trophy to Atlanta. Let's just be real. We don't want to get back into talking about the Super Bowl 51, but at the end of the day, Dan Quinn had us one half away from winning the Super Bowl. We was up 28-3. Let's just be real. So if Arthur Smith can get us to a Super Bowl and get us a 28-3 lead with the way that he understands clock management, if Arthur Smith was our coach in that Super Bowl, we're not losing that Super Bowl. The way that he calls plays and stuff like that. So in the way we were 7-2 and one possession games, 7-2. So if he gets a big lead, he's not letting that lead go away. He's a smart coach when it comes to time and possession. They've proven to us that they understand time and possession. So at the end of the day, I think that Arthur Smith is a great coach. So far, we've seen what he's done. Now, I don't believe in carryover. Like this year, we won 8 games, and that means next year we're going to win 10 games. It don't work that way because the team will change. And that's what I was just talking about. It doesn't always carry over. But Arthur Smith showed us, we see the weapons we got. Mike has always talked about, if we playing a game of Madden, and this is franchise mode, how many players on this team, on that offense, you taking on your team? Let's just be real. You're not taking none of these guys.
Boy, they'll be rotting away in free agency, I tell you that.
You're not taking none of these guys. That's why I call them misfits and I call them underdogs. There's no disrespect to these guys, but we just devoid of talent right now. So once you draft, more talent and you bring in guys, and if we do get Calvin Ridley back or whatever, whatever happens with that situation, or we trade him and get draft picks, at the end of the day, this team is going to be, have more talent on it than it had this season because you already got a Kyle Pitts coming back next year. So you can add on that. Kyle Pitts, CP comes back, and then you bring in another wide receiver. Matt Gono comes back possibly, and you insert him on the offensive line. If these guys don't improve, you got guys coming back. You got Isaiah Oliver that possibly will come back. So it's a lot of talent that's on this team. It just the ball didn't roll our way this year. Like the injuries, guys stepping away from the game, it just didn't go our way this year. But I really think that if you give this roster to any other head coach in the league, I don't know if you get 7 wins or 8 wins out of this roster. Let's just be real, especially not in year one, because I think that's another thing that we're not looking at. Not only did Arthur Smith get 8 wins or 7 wins so far out of this roster, but this is his first year. So you still also are implementing your scheme. And that's another thing that people are not really paying attention to. It's like we haven't seen it's layers to schemes. And that's something that Dean Pease was talking about when they asked him, how much of your playbook have you actually implemented? He was like maybe 20 to 30%. Like not even half of his playbook system has he even implemented. So let's just hold off on saying if these guys suck or not. Just like we say, give these players time to develop, give these coaches time to actually teach their scheme and bring in guys that fit their scheme. Because then again, these are not guys that they brought in. He inherited a lot of these players that don't really fit his scheme. That's the reason why they went out and got a bunch of guys on 1-year deals to try to fit their scheme. As you say, we went to the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, whatever you want to call it, and we kind of just tried to piece it together, bringing in guys off the street, practice squad guys, like being elevated. So we don't know. I really think that just from what we've seen this year, it's promising from what this coaching staff has showed us, void of talent. I could just imagine if Julio was still here with Calvin Ridley, with Kyle Pitts. Like, we're talking about 7 wins right now. We probably would be easily sitting on 10 or 11 wins because we're not losing those games to Washington. If you have a Julio Jones or Calvin Ridley, we're not losing those games, to even the Philly in the first game. You're not losing these games when you have, that talent. So I just say be patient with this coaching staff. I'm really impressed from what I've seen so far, and I'm just going to wait and see because we've seen Kyle Shanahan in his first year as the offensive coordinator. It looked horrible. The next year, everybody's like he's a genius. The first year, I was ready for Kyle Shanahan to go. But I'm like, all he's doing is throwing the ball to Julio every play.
Me? I know I was.
Yeah. So, and then the next year, we were like one of the highest scoring teams of all time in the league. So that just goes to show you it was layers to his offense. Matt Ryan had to get used to his offense. They brought in more talent, Taylor Gabriel. You bring in guys to fit the scheme and understand the roles, and you understand how to use these guys. So coming into training camp next year, say Calvin Ridley doesn't come back, you still have the guys like Kyle Pitts, who's been in this system for a year, Matt Ryan, that understand how to use the guys that are currently on the roster, and they understand what's missing from this team. Because we all sit here and watch this team all year long, and we see the gaping holes. So they're going to go out and make the proper adjustments. We just got to be patient at the end of the day. It's not going to happen overnight. We got to be patient.
Yeah, because you don't want to be caught in a situation where you bringing in new head coaches and new OCs every year.
We seen that. What that get us? Bringing in guys. And that's really, to be honest, KStylzz, what you just said was the reason why Dan Quinn went downhill every single year, because he tried to scapegoat his coaches. Like, let's be real. That's really when the Falcons and Dan Quinn's regime started to go down. It's like when they got rid of the Brian Cox, when they got rid of Kyle Shanahan left, but then they got rid of Sark. To me, Sark was pretty good the first year that we had him. We should have just stuck with him, but Dan Quinn kind of scapegoated those guys. He scapegoated him, and he scapegoated what's the defensive coordinator that we had that 1 year with
Marquand
Manuel. Yeah, Marquand Manuel. He didn't give it time. Like, he did scapegoated those guys. So that was pretty much when we went down.
Richard Smith. He scapegoated Richard Smith too.
Right. That's when everything went downhill, KStylzz. Like you said, we started just flipping all of our coaching staff. We had no chemistry. We had no consistency. And that's what happens when you're a team changing coaches year after year after year. Look at the Cleveland Browns. Every year,
that's what you said,
coach.
That's what you said. That's why you wanted the offensive head coach, so he can have that stability on the offensive side of the ball.
Exactly.
Right. That's the main thing you want to keep. You have that, and like I said, we have to use. And you just said the Cleveland Browns. You have to remember the Cleveland Browns went through a point in time when they was getting new head. I think for like 5 straight seasons, they was getting new coaches.
Jacksonville. Look at Jacksonville this year.
Jacksonville is another one like that too, and that's not how you
decision on somebody. Gotta make a decision on the guy and stick with it. You can't keep changing plans every year, changing quarterbacks every 5 to 6 years or so. You gotta make a decision on the guy. When you get that guy, especially at the quarterback position, this is why the Falcons don't want to. Like, not even the Falcons. Like, even look at Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger. I'm just gonna say that. More power to Ben Roethlisberger, man. Had a great Hall of Fame career, and he's definitely going down, in my opinion, as a Hall of Famer. I don't think anybody
hands down.
Hands down.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer. So yeah, I just got to give a shout out to that. So I'm at the end of the day, you gotta have some. You gotta make a decision what the identity of this team. And if you're an offense, if you're a team today, you can't afford to not have that stability on the offensive side of the ball. You gotta have a guy. You gotta have an offensive guy. And I'm just gonna say this. I don't think you can have a team without I just don't think you can afford to have a defense. I think the days of defensive coaches being head coaches, it might be shortening because like I said, offense is what sells tickets these days. And offensively, you got all these guys, you paying a quarterback hundreds and $200, $300, $400, $500 million. You need that stability on the offense side of the ball. So it's like you're going to see more teams hire offensive coaches. And that's just my opinion. And I think the Falcons, for the most part, they realize that this too. The Falcons have had 3 straight defensive head coaches, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember what Jim Moore was, but I think he's a defensive guy, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there, but
let me see, Jim Moore.
But yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't know what the hell Jim Moore was.
I don't know where he did. I don't know where he's good at. I'm just gonna be honest. But yeah, I just don't. The Falcons have gone, defensive. I know for a fact that they've gone defensively 3 straight years, 2 straight years, and it was like, okay, this not working. We need to go offense.
Yeah, and that was from 2008 to 2020. So you
Yeah,
had 12.
that's why I wanted an
Yes.
offensive coach, and that's another thing. Going back to
Oh,
the comment that was made, that y'all just pulled up, he was talking about Arthur Smith calling the plays. To be honest, sometimes that's the best thing to have is a head coach that is calling the plays because you don't have to worry about them being hired from up under. Just like what happened with Kyle Shanahan. If he was our head coach at the time that the 49ers wanted him, they wouldn't have been able to hire him from up under the Falcons. But being that he was our offensive coordinator, it was nothing we could do. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like we could. I guess you could deny them from interviewing them, but who wants to hold on to somebody that doesn't want to be here? So it's just like that's another advantage of having a Andy Reid, having a LaFleur that's coaching the Packers, that's calling the plays as the head coach. You don't have to worry about that was the reason I kind of was pushing for an offensive minded coach because Matt Ryan doesn't have to worry about my offensive play caller being taken again because he's the head coach. So he can't be hired from up under. He's under contract. Unless we trade him or something like that, he's under contract. So I think that's another advantage of having that offensive-minded head coach that's calling the plays is you don't have to worry about another team trying to overpay or hire him as the next head coach for their team. So that's another advantage you have when you have that head coach that's calling the plays. Because if you look at most of the successful teams, the Sean McVays, a lot of these guys are calling the plays. Kingsbury for the Arizona Cardinals, head coach calling the plays. I mean, that's just the way it is now in this new NFL.
okay. Yeah, because as we all know, defenses don't really change that often, but offenses are always evolving.
You gotta stay on the curve. You gotta stay with the curve.
Yeah, shouts out Miss Maggie T is in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all show her some love. Definitely, there's a lot going on right now, so keep her in your prayers. But I think you said you had another comment you want to go ahead and have a discussion about. You got something else you want to talk about? Does it have to pertain to a certain somebody that we even got?
It's two comments. It's two comments. I'll do it like this. All right, let's just go straight into it. All right,
go straight into it. Dukes and Bell 92.9. Shouts out to 92.9 the game. He's asked if Calvin Ridley's future with the Falcons is in jeopardy. Steve Wyche tells Mike Bell, Dukes, I think so. The fact that he and the team has been so quiet and he hasn't surfaced, it appears like both sides could be looking for a fresh start.
And it kind of goes into this comment as well.
Okay. And shouts out to Ezekiel King with this one. He said, who do you think the Falcons will target in free agency and the draft, and who do you think will fit Arthur Smith's scheme for receivers?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that goes together. I think those why I put those two together. I'm not gonna go. I want to say something as far as the situation is concerned, but I'm gonna take the mature route this time and just hold my thoughts. But I will say this: where there's smoke, there's fire. Like that's just my opinion personally. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's no need for just as a player, okay? No, I'm gonna just take the player out as a human being. You got people that care about you. You got fans that really look up to you. They love a lot of these. Like, cause look, I'm a huge Mark Calloway. If y'all don't know who Mark Calloway is, aka the Undertaker, I love the Undertaker. I will lose my shit if I ever made if I ever met him. And this is the guy that I, as a child, as a kid growing up, I watched this dude and I was mesmerized by him. So he is my idol. I hold him up this, you know what I'm talking about, up here with my father. You know what I'm saying? My parents. So when you got kids that literally they watch you every step, people just want to know if you're okay. So if you're not at least at the very least not showing your people, not showing your fans that, hey, I'm okay. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting there. If you're not at least doing that, for me, that's a problem. For me, that's a sign of selfishness, and you can take it whatever the hell you want to take it, but it's a sign of selfishness, and it's a sign of, you just worried about you. And at some point, people do have to worry about them, but at the same time, you got to understand people genuinely care for you. There's a lot of people out here who genuinely just want to know if you're doing okay. And this is the reason why I even said with Julio Jones, all we really needed from you was just look, man. I appreciate Atlanta Falcons, y'all, Falcon fans. Y'all gave me the best 8-9 years of my life, my career. He didn't do that. He sent us this whack ass written statement that was obviously some bull crap, and it just didn't show any respect to the fans. And I think that's what a lot of players of today, and I will always say a lot of players today, just in sports in general, they just have no respect for the fans. They have no respect for the fans, and they just don't care. It's all about the money. It's all about, all right, I'm gonna get mine, and you gotta show, because without the fans, like, who is LeBron James as without the fans? Who is Kobe Bryant without the fans? Who's a Michael Jordan without the fans? Who's a Tom Brady without the fans? These fans are the reason why they are so great at what they do. So for me, I think Calvin Ridley should have done that at the very least to his people, the people that love him, spoken out, and we've seen nothing. All right. The reason why I say that goes into the draft. The draft, I don't think you could at this point. I just don't think you can disregard the fact that you gotta go for a receiver. You gotta upgrade this receiving core both in free agency and in the draft. You can't neglect it. Matt Ryan, whether he is the quarterback, no quarterback can be successful with this what we have. All right, no quarterback can be successful with what we got. Okay, I just keep it real. Especially a young quarterback. A young quarterback, you're gonna bring a young quarterback even to groom. For Matt Ryan to groom, he's going to need the proper tools. You can't be feeding him crap and expect him to be, a great quarterback. It's the same thing with we seeing with Justin Fields. Justin Fields doesn't have a lot of weapons up there. You got to make sure that he has the proper weapons. The guy, the guy in New York, he doesn't have a lot of weapons. You look at Trevor Lawrence, he doesn't have a lot of weapons. And this is why these guys are starting to slowly go down, because they don't have the proper weapons. Quarterback needs weapons, all right? No quarterback in the game has ever done anything by themselves. You look at the best, they've had Hall of Fame receivers. Every quarterback that is in the Hall of Fame has had a Hall of Fame receiver, whether it's a receiver or a tight end or a running back. They've had that. So no quarterback can do that without the proper weapons. And I say the Falcons are going to get a receiver. Whether they trade the pick, trade down, I don't know, but they're going to get a wide receiver.
Yeah, because by looking at this wide receiver free agency class as of right now, it ain't looking too good for receivers right now. Because
Right.
we know Devontae Adams, he's gonna get paid. You can kiss that goodbye. Mike Williams from the Chargers, he's gonna get paid, so you can kiss that goodbye. Outside of that, the best you can do, Sammy Watkins,
I'm good.
Allen Robinson, Will Fuller.
You said I'm good quick.
I'm good, bro.
Oh, man.
Like I said, Allen Robinson is kind of like 50-50, but it's like when you look at this list, like I said, like you said, you'll look at a Jamison Crowder.
Heck,
No. That's it.
go ahead, resign Russell Gage.
That was I said it's going to get to a point where, like I said, Russell Gage will get re-signed. Chris Godwin gonna get re-signed by the Buccaneers. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So you can kiss that one goodbye too. I say the closest person that you can shit. They got nothing but damn small ass receivers in the damn free agency, boy. Outside, like I said, I think the only name that I will look for in this draft, in this free agency right now that I am seeing is Alan Lazard, but he's restricted, so you gonna have to give something up for him.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I'm resigning Russell Gage because everybody else looking like, I don't know about it.
Right.
They got Alshon Jeffrey at the bottom of the list. So,
oh boy.
Oh man.
Nah. I think what's gonna hurt Michael Gallup is that injury. Like I said, that injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt him. So, T.Y. Hilton, he's not gonna fit in this offense neither.
Nah, he little too.
He's small, and he got a lot of miles on him too.
Mm-hmm. What you gonna do? Get Odell Beckham Jr. to come down here?
Nah, we good on that too.
We good. We
might as well keep Calvin Ridley. I'd rather take my team. I'm gonna roll the dice, dog. Forget that. I roll the
dice. Sammy Watkins, AJ Green, Emmanuel Sanders.
Oh God! Somebody said Dez Bryant.
Oh boy.
You can get Juju Smith-Schuster. What? No. but nah, bro. The wide receiving class and free agency right now this year does not look good right now. I'm just gonna say that right now. So they're going to end up drafting a wide receiver. Only problem is we don't know when they're going to do it, but they're going to end up addressing that.
Mm-hmm.
We got no choice. Then
I know people saying like with Devontae Adams, Jonathan Rozier said the Packers don't have the money to pay Adams. Besides, if Rodgers don't return, he ain't gonna want to stay in Green Bay anyway. Hell, we ain't got the money to get Devontae Adams.
All right. I think the tides are turning on these receivers. A lot of these organizations don't want to play these deeper receivers because they just acting a fool right now. Like all of them are acting a damn fool. Like even I know your boy Cooper Kupp is having a hell of a year, but even he's acting different. He acting real cocky right now.
Yeah,
he about to break the record.
Yeah, he about to break that record. And plus, he already got his money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at this point, we need to draft the wide receiver, guys. Like we're gonna have to draft a wide receiver. Like y'all was saying, I don't know if it's gonna be in the first round, but I would say go best wide receiver available, whether it's in the first or the second round. But I also think we need to take a running back as well. I think we'll have to draft both. And I was really shocked that they didn't do it last year. To be completely honest with you guys, I didn't think that they were going to just go with Mike Davis. I really thought that they were going to take a running back because we know Arthur Smith's offense is predicated off the run. So yeah, it's nice having Cordell Patterson, but that's not his primary position, like y'all were talking about earlier. But he ends up being the primary ball carrier for this Falcons team because Mike Davis didn't turn out to be what we thought he was. And we kind of did what KStylzz was just talking about. We went down the list of whatever, running backs they thought would fit this scheme, and they decided to go with Mike Davis, which Mike Davis was not a starting running back to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So we rolled the dice and took a chance when we really should have just went in the draft. Like I said, every year, draft a running back. Every single year. Don't pay a running back. So I think we're going to have to do both. We're going to have to go in and get a wide receiver and go in this draft and get a running back. And we're seeing great wide receivers come out every year. Look at Jamar Chase this year. This guy got like almost 1,500 yards receiving, 13 touchdowns. Not saying that every receiver is him, but the way that the college game is set up now, wide open with the wide receivers, you can go and find a talented wide receiver. KStylzz just talking about it. Cooper Kupp, like the list goes on and on. Guys that people never heard of. Adam Thielen, recently. Jefferson that plays for the Vikings. Justin Jefferson out of LSU. I know Pickens is coming out from Georgia. It's a lot of guys out there. All I ask is whoever we bring in a wide receiver that has size. That's all I would say is whoever we bring in a guy that has size and that's physical.
Right. And looking at this free agency running back class, it looks a whole lot better than that wide receiver class. I tell you that now.
Yeah, I still ain't paying nobody out of there. I don't care who on that list.
That's what I'm saying. No. I know. I know.
I ain't paying nobody.
I know that boy said he don't want no already been used tires, but he wants some fresh tread on the tires.
I want some brand new cheap tires, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, that wide receiver free agency list right now looks way better than what that wide receiver looked. But at the end of the day, we need some young backs here as well. I saw somebody say, like I said, I'm sifting through the comments. And this was interesting because I know I've been hearing a lot of this stuff going on is Tyler Huntley, like Tyler Huntley's ended up becoming like the hot commodity name right now. We all know the backup quarterback and stuff like that. What do you feel about that? Because I know me personally in the draft, I want pass rushers. I won't. But the problem is we in a situation we need everything right now.
Yeah.
What y'all feel about that? Because I've been hearing this name for like the last 3 weeks about bringing Tyler Huntley here as a backup quarterback.
Is that the guy that played for the Ravens?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm good on that. See, this is the problem that I have. This is the problem that I have when you have a guy that has like a one good year. Nobody has tape on this kid. So initially that first year, and that's why this is something that Mike is big on, me, Mike, and KStylzz here at the AFN, consistency. Like I heard Shannon Sharp and they were talking about it on Undisputed where he was saying that he thinks that he throws the ball with better anticipation than Lamar Jackson, and he's a better pocket passer than Lamar Jackson. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I feel like this dude, Tyler Huntley, they just don't have any. I've seen him play and I've seen highlights of him, and I think he's a solid quarterback, but I don't necessarily think that he may be starter material. I just think that the league hasn't caught up to him yet. Like they don't have any tape on him. So it's like everything he's doing now is, we can kind of compare him to Mike Davis. That'll be the best example I can give you guys. Mike Davis with the Panthers, it was like, oh man, C-Mac went down last year. He had over 1,000 yard all-purpose yards, but it was kind of like there was no expectations. It's the same thing with Huntley because they got Lamar Jackson and he's hurt right now, former MVP. It's kind of like he has no reason to be scared. He's basically playing with house money, as what you was talking about, KStylzz, like the Falcons this week against the Saints. He has nothing to lose. Like he knows Lamar Jackson is the franchise quarterback there for the Ravens. So at this point, Huntley's out there playing free. He doesn't have any pressure really on him because he's the backup. So I'm very careful when I take a backup player and make him a starter or bring him in because, like I said, you really don't know because no team really has any tape on this kid. It kind of reminds me of also like a Nick Foles situation. We seen Nick Foles with the Eagles win a Super Bowl, then go be a starter somewhere else, and he wasn't the same player. You know what I'm saying? It's like he caught lightning in the bottle. Same thing with a guy like Fitzmagic or Fitzpatrick. He was another guy like that where every time he was a backup somewhere, it would like when he would get into the game, he would do some special things for a couple games. But if you ever went into the season with him as your starter, it always went south. And I think it'll be the same thing with this kid Huntley. I mean, I don't know. I just think that I need to see more out of him. See him in the year. See him in next year, where guys have tape on him to know really if he's really that guy. Because right now, I just think nobody has tape. They didn't know what to expect. He kind of was just thrown in the game. But once a team gets a whole off season where they can watch tape of this guy, they're gonna figure out what his weaknesses are, and then they'll be able to exploit his weaknesses. Right now, they can't really exploit his weaknesses because they don't know what they are.
And I will give a shout out to one of my peoples here. So said, and I seen this in the chat a lot too. So anybody else that said this, shouts out to y'all as well. But she said, I don't want no more Alabama wide receivers in the draft. She said they have a tendency of screwing us up.
They so used to having caviar and having grapes being fed to them by these damn models and shit at Alabama, so they don't get a chance to the struggle. To be honest, you got guys like Julio Jones that's always going back to the school, so they just used to a lot of nonsense. I'll say this. I don't think you should waste anything on a quarterback right now. I think right now is not the time to focus on a quarterback because, like I said before, you want to establish one thing before you even bring a quarterback into this. You got to establish the running game, and you got to establish consistency with the offensive line before you even think about spending money on any quarterback, whether it's Tyler Huntley, whether he is good or not. I don't think you should focus on that. What I would do is I would invest as much as I possibly can in Felipe Franks. He already knows the system. Bring him back. If he isn't a thrower, he can use his legs. Just play more to history because Matt Ryan is that guy. All right, let's just say he is that guy. I don't foresee him going anywhere anytime soon. But you can't bring a quarterback in here. He's going to be destined to fail without the proper running game, the inconsistencies with the offensive linemen, and we know those wide receivers are just doo-doo, okay? They doo-doo. They some smelly poo-poo, all right? They're not going to get it done. So I don't want to, me personally, what I'm going to do, if you do, for whatever reason, I'm not spending no more than $2 million on him. I'm not doing it because you can essentially do the same things with Felipe Franks and just do what you said, invest in the trenches, but go and get a bunch of offensive. Just go get a bunch of running backs. Run the damn ball. Get a bunch of running backs, run the damn ball, play solid defense, invest in your defense, get a bunch of running, and just pretty much recreate what the DVD was. That was the blueprint. And shout out to Dan Reeves for that. He created that. Mm-hmm. That was his vision, the DVD. It's like we had a solid defense, we had solid running game, and Michael Vick just added that, that extra oomph to what we already was. So at this point, don't bring in any other quarterback into a situation that is destined to fail. I just don't think that's the proper thing to do. You roll with Matt Ryan, you roll with Felipe, but I will not bring any quarterback into this running game. It's fixed. I'm not doing it. I'm not setting these players up for failure. It's not the right way to do things.
And we also have a Cash App. Shouts out to Mackenzie Kendall Mayweather for the $2 support.
Thank
Definitely
you so much.
appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. But damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. I actually forgot what I was gonna say. Um, yeah, I'm kind of on that. Yeah, like I said, I want to build this foundation. As much like we said earlier, this technically, even though we was in denial before the season started that this was not a rebuild, and the reality was this was a this was the start of a
Mm-hmm.
rebuild. But the biggest
Mm-hmm.
difference was you got a head start on the rebuild early because you played all your rookies. You let them get
Mm-hmm.
you let them get their feet wet up here. Um, man, and I think like you said, it all starts in the trenches. It starts with running the ball. You need a running back. You need edge rushers. You need a wide receiver. It's like I said, it's just too much. It's just too much that we need right now as far as trying to. It's just too much, man. Because like, bruh, Jacob Tatui Mariner is still one of the top 3 sack artists on our team, and he ain't played for this team since week 8. You heard me, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you.
Did y'all? I wonder if y'all understood that.
I hear you.
Jacob Tatui Mariner is tied for second in this team in sacks, and he ain't played for this team since week 8 or 9.
Whew.
We need them trenches, but we need a lot. But the one good thing about it is you got to see what these young guys got to do. They can only get better from here. If they don't get better from here, then you draft. That's why you got the draft. You got to build your team through the draft. Free agency is just the cherry on top. But in order for you to make the cupcake, you got to build through the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And did somebody say trading Kyle Pitts? Wait a minute. What the hell? I'm not even going. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into that.
I didn't read that goofy. Put your ass in timeout. I'm putting you in timeout.
Nah, bro, he got too much going on, bro. You trade him, you really ain't got nothing. But we're gonna go ahead and wind it down for tonight. We definitely appreciate y'all tuning in on this Heavy Hitter Tuesday, which is the final heavy hitter for the regular season. So we definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, y'all make sure y'all continue to support Atlanta Falcon Nation as well as TalkSports, as well as Mad Mike Sports, as well as your boy 6-Man KStylzz. We definitely appreciate that, man. And like I said, I'm just glad it's just like I said, it's been a hectic season. It's been a roller coaster. We done seen a whole bunch of stuff going down. We still here. We still giving you the same content. We still giving you the same energy, win or losses.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what a lot of the Falcons fans that still ride with this team, they need voices like that that's gonna still ride it down with this team, regardless if you win or lose, because you got to keep morale up. That's just what we do, man. So fellas, y'all got any you got any final thoughts y'all want to get before we go ahead?
Go ahead, G.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in as always. Like you said, it's the last heavy hitter show for the regular season. It's the season finale. But we're gonna end on a high note. Last home game of the season against our rivals, the Saints. So we'll get to see this team one more time for the year. Hopefully they can end on a high note at home. Like you said, man, I'm proud of this team no matter what. Like we said, we ride or die. We bleed that red and black all day. We're gonna always rep our team no matter what, whether it's 0-17 or whether it's 17-0. Like I said, I think that this team has something to build on heading into the offseason. So if we can end it on a high note at home, Arthur Smith and these guys, I expect him and Terry Fontenot to get in the lab and bring in some more players. Like we said, bring in some more talent that fits this scheme. And I think we're going to see a much different team next year. But they're starting to build that winning culture. As we say, they're laying the foundation right now. This season was to lay the foundation at the end of the day. And to me, they did a solid job of laying the foundation to get 7 to 8 wins in your first year and basically be like a 500 team. Basically, this team all year have beaten the teams that they were supposed to beat. And they're pretty much the only teams that we've really struggled with are the teams that have the talent, the upper echelon of teams, the teams that we were supposed to handle our business, like the last, couple years when Dan Quinn was here, losing to teams like the Browns before the Browns were the Browns of, today with Chubb and all of those guys, losing to teams like Tyrod Taylor when he was playing for the Bills. We're not seeing that. Out of this group, we've seen the games that we're supposed to win, the teams that we were better than, like the Lions, we won those games. So, like I said, that's all you can ask for. These guys have laid the foundation. And like I said, I expect this team next year to be in contention and be contenders to push into the playoffs. But this year, they were in it the whole season, all the way down to the last game. Those guys were in the playoff picture, which when everybody thought that, like I said, everybody threw dirt on us and pretty much said that this team was not going to be able to do anything. So with that being said, I love, like I said, the passion that this team played with. Shout outs to Matt Ryan and those guys that's in that locker room. Shout outs to those guys, Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot, for a great season. And like I said, I expect them to, bold prediction, I expect this to be a blowout on Sunday. I think they're going to blow the Saints out at home and shock a lot of people, knock them out the playoffs, and then we'll be able to build on next year. But with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Mad Mike. But I appreciate you guys. Definitely hit that like, subscribe button for us. We shouldn't be too far from 2,000. So definitely go over and hit that like button, like and subscribe button at AFN. TalkSports. I think I'm like 7 away from 1,500 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys. Get your boy to 1,500 subscribers. But I appreciate you guys.
All right. I'll say this. This Falcons team is a lot more. It's built for success much more than people realize. And I actually took time to really think about this. If you look at the history of Arthur Smith, his foundation is a lot like Kyle Shanahan. It really is a lot like Kyle Shanahan. And basically what I mean by that, you live and die by the running game. You live and die by the running game. You live and die by your offensive guys. And, of course, you're going to have those players around you that's going to make plays in the passing game. But you live and die by the passing game. So reason why I say that is that the Falcons are really – they get a solid – if you look at the defense side of it, they play not to give up big plays. That's a recipe for success when you have an established running game. So it forces team to dink and dunk. So all the Falcons would need to do is just to invest in the running game. Invest in the running game. Invest in the running game. You run the ball well in this league, you're going to have success. You stop big plays, as we've seen this year, the Falcons are still the only team hasn't given up a play over 40 yards. They're still the only team in the NFL who hasn't done that. So with that, invest in the running game. Don't give up big plays. The Falcons, with a veteran head coach, a veteran defensive coach, a veteran quarterback, and a young general manager who has shown that he can make something out of nothing, because that Julio Jones situation could have got real ugly, and somehow he found a way to not only make Tennessee pay for the contract, but he got us a second and a fourth, and I think a sixth or a seventh. So he got us picks in that situation. So this is a recipe for success, and I think a lot of people are going to be shocked at how fast the Falcons get back to winning. And it's going to be right back to old Dan Reeves, grind it out, play solid, hard-nosed, disciplined football, and we're going to get back to being accountable. Accountability. That's something Mr. Reeves always stated. You can go back and watch our interviews with quite a few players. They always said Mr. Reeves was always a guy accountability. Accountability. You're not going to come in here with that foolishness. All right, you're not going to come in this locker room with this foolishness. If you got some foolishness going on and he walk in there, everybody straighten up. That's what I like about Arthur Smith right now. You coming there with that foolishness. If I feel like I got to motivate you, your ass is out the door. No more of that type of stuff for Atlanta Falcons. The culture has changed. And Ms. Maggie, what you got?
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I just wanted to get on while I got a little energy. I know I didn't even realize this was like the season finale, so I definitely need to announce this. I'm okay. It's just a lot of fatigue and dehydration and just getting better. And then we're mourning the death of my godmother's mother. So that's kind of, everybody over there got COVID too. So that's why I put out the Cash App just to kind of send her some Gatorade and things like electrolytes and things to kind of get her back into her, feeling good, because guess what? We got to bury somebody soon. So it's like we got to get together and just, I don't know how it's going to be. It's kind of sad time because it might end up being virtual. And she was like the big mom of the family, if you get what I'm saying. She was 88, dementia, but I think COVID probably pushed it. But I'm here to say this, that we are a family. I appreciate everybody that's come here and donated and showed love. I know everybody have their own things going on in the chat. I've seen everybody's lives develop and, I got this and I'm sick. And, we're all going through something here in the United States and, or all over the world, honestly. And I just want everybody to stay safe, pray. It's time to uplift. I'm going to be starting my motivational videos again on my other channel that I kind of put on the sleep. So you're going to see a lot more of that. And as well as you probably wonder where Miss Maggie T's channel went. We migrated that to the All Atlanta Sports channel now. So I've been incorporating a little bit of my Hawks media updates and things. So that's going to be our focus. Hawks, Braves, Atlanta United. We might even incorporate some wrestling. Y'all been asking for it. We about to give it to you. So y'all been there for us. In 2022, we got some big people behind us coming. It's a lot about to happen and change. What you knew AFN as, you're not going to know it again like that starting this year. So y'all just be on the lookout. I appreciate everybody supporting, donating. It's much appreciated. So start looking on over to, Atlanta Diehard Fanatics. We have 2 channels. We'll give you guys more details about it. But at the same time, Atlanta Falcons Nation doesn't stop. So it's always going to be content, but we focus more on educating you and some history in the off season. So, and maybe even some shows from some people. So different type of shows. So y'all just hang tight, watch it happen. Okay, I'm just go ahead and get back to resting, but I love everybody. Okay, appreciate you guys. I'm out.
Definitely shouts out to her. Like I said, y'all keep them in your prayer. You keep everybody in your prayers because you never know what the hell can happen out here. Um, like I said, definitely continue to support. Um, we got Whiteboard Wednesdays coming on tomorrow with your boy Noah Tyndale. And then following that, you're going to get the 6-man combo season finale on Thursday. So y'all be on the lookout for that. And as we say here at AFN, we ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't got to go home.
But you gotta get the freak out of here.
Deuces.